first of all, thank you so much for being here. You represent, I think there were 65 nurses and doctors who did this, right?
On our
so,
team, yes.
So thank you for Team A or something, right?
Yes.
So thank you for being here, and thank all of the ones at home who are the other part of 65. Okay. So, I'm from New Orleans, and hurricanes, it's unfortunately hits that city all the time. You're familiar with that, but you hear Ida is coming, and everybody's fleeing. You decide to stay. I mean, why?
So we're actually preparing for Ida even before we know Ida's coming. We set up a list. We put it up for volunteers to sign up for what you refer to as Team A. That's our essential team that comes in whenever there's a disaster or anything happening that we need to bring a team in for. And so it's volunteers, and those are the people that want to be there and take care of our patients where everybody else is evacuated.
It's incredible. And so you're 8 months pregnant, right?
I am.
Okay, and so, most people 8 months pregnant, they're like, look, I'd love to stay and help. I want to do this, but I think I should go home. And yet you stayed.
I did. So like Paula said, we start preparing in April for it. And when we talked originally, I was going to be Team B, the team that comes in and relieves Team A. But as we got closer and we saw that it was going to be a really bad storm, I had to stay. Like there was no other place I wanted to be. And my husband's a police officer, so he was going to be activated. And I didn't want to be home alone. So, with her coming, got them, I figured it was the best place for me to be.
Yeah, well, amazing. And your husband's a police officer.
Yes.
Y'all do a lot of good, you and your husband. That's amazing. Okay, so you had obviously families at home that you were leaving at home, and that must have been hard to make that decision, obviously.
It's so, it sets in so much when I'm driving into the city and there's a mandatory evacuation, so everyone is coming the opposite way and driving out as I'm going in. But I know that it's the right thing to do. That's why I chose the nursing profession, to take care of the babies, and that's why I do what I do. But
it's amazing to see you. So you're like kind of the only car going in one direction.
Yes.
Everybody's going that way.
Yeah.
But you must feel like, is what you are, a hero. Like you're going in that direction. Really, that's all you call it is heroic that you're doing that. So how many babies were in the hospital when y'all were there?
So we had 35 babies when we activated Team A. We had a few more that added to it during the storm.
Like people were giving birth during that?
Yeah, babies don't stop for hurricanes.
They don't?
No,
I don't know much about them. But okay.
They do keep coming, but we started with 35 babies. We actually had 4 parents that stayed with us. That's a hard decision for our parents to have to make is, am I going to stay with my infant or am I going to evacuate? Like, I remember a conversation with one of our moms, and she was like, she wanted to be with her baby, but she also had a grandmother that she needed to evacuate and get to safety. And so it's really hard for our families to deal with that.
But that's the trust that they have in y'all, that they're trusting you to stay with their babies.
Right. Yeah, we definitely pride ourselves as NICU nurses with the relationship we develop with the parents. This is the most precious thing in anyone's life is their child, and they trust us to take care of them. So we really like to foster those relationships and do what we can to go that extra mile, especially during the storm, but all the time.
Well, I hope that when these babies grow up, I hope you get to see them so that they get to see who took care of them during something like that.
we usually do keep in touch with our
That's
babies.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, more with the incredible NICU nurses from New Orleans after this. We'll be right back. We're back with 4 amazing nurses from Ochsner Baptist Hospital in New Orleans. And so obviously there was a lot of devastation and a lot of damage all throughout the city and outside the city. And some of your homes were damaged as well, right?
Yes, mostly all of our houses have some damage, some form of cleanup to do. And that's another part that's really hard is that we go in for Team A, not really knowing what we're going to come back to whenever we get home. And we're there, the storm hits, and then people are finding out that they have damage to their houses, that they have flooding, but we are still doing our job and still loving our babies and taking care of them and putting all that aside to do what we have to do every day.
It's amazing what y'all do. It's amazing. All right, well, I love, and everyone loves nurses and what you do. You're selfless, and it's amazing. 84 Lumber is a woman-owned company that supplies building materials in 250 stores across the country. They love giving back to their communities and are ready to help rebuild homes and businesses impacted by Hurricane Ida. They heard about your hospital's Employee Assistance Fund, which directly helps healthcare workers like you, and they need assistance with recovery efforts. So today, 84 Lumber is donating $100,000 to the Ochsner Employee Assistance Fund. Welcome. You are welcome. Go to our website to find out how you can help those impacted by Hurricane Ida.